Okay, so children, we're up to the part of the story where Mordechai tells Queen Esther that she should keep the secret and not tell King Achashverosh really that she is Jewish. Esther, can you bring me the pastels from there, please, darling? Thank you. She shouldn't tell Achashverosh that she's Jewish. She shouldn't say where she comes from. She shouldn't say anything. She should just keep a secret. Now, children, at this point in the story, it's important we take a few minutes to talk about secrets, because there's different kinds of secrets. There's some secrets which are really happy, good secrets. And those are very safe secrets. Who can tell? What kind of secrets are those?
Like, Mushki getting married, but don't tell anyone.
Right. So if, let's say, your sister's getting engaged and you're not going to tell anyone. You know your sister's getting engaged, but I say, keep it a secret. You know why it's a safe secret? Because after a while we go, surprise, everyone, Mushki got engaged. Or let's say if mommy's pregnant and mommy's having a baby. We say, don't tell anyone. But it doesn't stay a secret forever. After a while, it doesn't say a secret forever, right? After a while, we say, surprise, mommy's having, that's not safe. Mommy's having a baby. Or let's say we're making a surprise birthday party for Racheli, right? So say, shh, don't tell Racheli. We're making birthday surprise. And then after a while, when the birthday comes, we all say, hey Racheli, happy birthday. And we all wish her a happy birthday, right? So a happy secret and a safe secret is a secret that doesn't stay it doesn't stay secret forever. It's also a secret that our mommy, Esther, you have to sit in a way that Kayla can reach to. So sit on that chair and lean over. Come. It's a secret that doesn't stay a secret forever, or one that maybe sometimes Tati or Mommy tell you, we're not ready to share it with anyone, don't tell anyone. Mordechai also told Queen Esther, eventually you're going to tell Achashverosh that you're really Jewish, but not yet. Don't tell him yet. Now kids, the other thing is that sometimes there are people who tell children, shh, we're going to do something, but we're going to keep it a secret. Don't ever tell anyone, and don't ever tell your mommy, don't ever tell your daddy. Those kinds of secrets are very not safe. Those are dangerous secrets. We never, ever, ever keep a secret from our tati or mommy, especially from other people. Now, sometimes it can be strangers, people we don't know. Sometimes it's people we really like, people we know. They come to our Shabbos table and they eat, or we meet them in shul, or we know them in school. Sometimes, La'alinu children, there's some people who are not very well, and for whatever reason they think it's nice to touch children in a not safe way, like inside their clothes.
But it's not their fault. They're sick.
Whether it's their fault or not their fault, that's not what we're discussing today. I don't know. That's Hashem should help them to be well. But the point is, kids, that we cannot ever let anybody touch us.
Even if we want to.
Right. We can never let anyone touch us inside our clothes, especially if they say, shh, don't tell anyone. Now, kids, our bodies are holy. They're kadosh. Hashem gave us our body, just like the Sefer Torah is very, very kadosh, right? And we keep it in the Aron Kodesh and we keep it sealed. And we don't just stam kacha come and open it anytime we want. Well, children, the same thing. Our bodies are very, very kadosh. And no one's allowed to touch us inside our clothes. And certainly someone like that will say, don't tell mommy. Now, kids, someone tries to touch us inside our clothes. We have to say, no, don't touch me, right? Let's try that. What is it?
Don't touch me.
Okay, these kind of people, children, are very afraid of your tati and mommy. They don't ever want the tati or mommy to find out. So you know what you have to tell them? You say, what do you tell them?
I'm going to tell my mommy.
Right, I'm going to tell my mommy, I'm going to tell my tati, don't touch me. There's also times, children, when we can scream. Now, generally, I always tell you that we can scream when we play outside in the park, right? Let's say you want to scream, you're playing catch, you go, hey, hi, and you run around screaming. So you can use your outdoor fun voices when you're outside screaming if you want. Or children, sometimes in danger, right? Do you remember last week?
Yeah.
Right? I lit the candles for Rosh Chodesh, and Shterni was very little. She didn't know, and she thought, "Oh, how nice! Maybe she'll come to look at it." And what did Kayla do?
I screamed.
Right? You did such a good job.
Because it fell.
Because when something is unsafe, you scream. That's another time to scream. Michael,
about to fall.
right? It was about to fall. She reached out to the candlestick, and it was tipping over, and Kayla screamed, and Mommy came running, and I fixed it. So when something is unsafe, that's the right time to scream.
I think she's
Also,
gonna yellow.
she can do the clowny's hair, whatever color she likes. This is up to every child does it however they like. So children, if someone tries to touch us inside our clothing, even if we're not sure, maybe they just want to tickle us, let's say, right? But you're not sure and it feels like, that didn't feel right. I didn't want to be touched like that. Then children, you know what you do? What do? You scream. That's another thing. Now, some children, sometimes it can happen, chas v'chalila, that it does happen. Sometimes it will happen without us meaning to. We got scared, we got shy, we were polite, we didn't know. And sometimes it can happen that, God forbid, a person got touched inside their clothing. And many children, kids, they get very embarrassed.
Yeah,
and they
I
get
always get-
scared. And they don't want to tell their tati or their mommy. Because, sometimes when they tell their mommy might go, how did he touch you? Or something. How did she touch you? Or something like that. And the person might think, oh no, it was so bad, so I'll keep my mouth shut. I won't share, I won't talk. Kids, that's a mistake. When mommy goes, how were you touched? It's almost like mommy says, don't touch the hot stove. And let's say you did. Or mommy says, don't touch the sharp knife. And let's say you did. The Yetzer Hara made you do it, or whatever. Now, kids, in these cases, it's never the child's fault. Sometimes the adult still manages to manipulate and make it happen. God forbid, God forbid. Chas v'chalila. Hashem protect everyone. Kids, the worst thing a child can do is not tell their mommy. Just like when you get a boo-boo from a bird.
Make it brown.
So, darling, everyone does whichever color they like. This is a Purim picture, and everyone can use a different color. No one is to tell anybody how to color
Mommy made
it.
it pink.
Shmami is going to touch it up afterwards. Now, kids, when mommy goes, it's not because mommy is angry. First, mommy will try never to be angry, but sometimes some people's mommies might get very worried and not know, oh no, what happened, right? Kids must never be afraid to tell their mommy if someone tried to touch them in a way that wasn't sanua, in a way that wasn't nice. There's a little bit you're blocking me.
Sorry.
I can put it this way. You do the basket now, okay? I'll do it afterwards. In a way that wasn't nice, kids. Just like if a person got a boo-boo in their finger. Let's say they cut their finger, right? And we have to tell mommy because it's a boo-boo. Mommy has to put a band-aid. Let's say somebody burnt their finger. You have to tell mommy because mommy needs to fix it, right? Children, mommy needs to put cream or sometimes, I don't know, put it in ice or something like that. Not to tell mommy, that's the worst thing ever because the boo-boo can just become more and more and more. It's the same thing, God forbid, children. If someone got touched in a way that was like kind of, wasn't sanua, it didn't feel right. Not to tell mommy or not to tell tati is the worst thing. We always have to tell our tati and our mommy because our tati and mommy protect us and they're never going to be angry with us. They just want to make us safe and healthy and well. So Mordechai was kind of like, Esther, darling, we can't lean over. After I finish the video, you can lean over. Do this corner. What do you want me to draw over here for you to color? You want a Hamantash? What do you like?
Yeah, Hamantash.
Okay, so let's draw Hamantash. Where's my pencil? Okay, can't find the pencil. I'll use this
I
one.
don't have
So,
a
I'll give you. So, children, Mordechai tells Esther, don't tell King Achashverosh. And Mordechai, in a sense, was like her tati, children. Remember that Queen Esther was the daughter of Avichail? No, she was from the descendants of Shaul HaMelech. And Queen Esther's father died before she was born. And her mommy died as she was giving birth to her.
Why? How?
So Hashem wanted, I don't know, it must have been not safe, the birth, I don't know. And Hashem sent Mordechai, her uncle, to take care of her. Mordechai loved her very much and he raised her like his own daughter. Now children, according to some opinions, Mordechai actually marries Queen Esther when she's older because there is a mitzvah. If an uncle and a niece like each other and they want to get married, it's a mitzvah for them to get married. They don't have to. It's only if they want
Mommy, what's
to.
the purple sharpener? Oh, I see. Could you give me the purple sharpener? Yeah, wait.
Children, what color should we do the clownies yarmulke?
Blue.
Blue? Okay, I like blue. So good to
Like
good.
a light blue.
Okay, we'll do.
No pink.
Okay, pink we do his face.
No.
Okay, here, this one.
No, the other one.
Okay, so you do it, come.
You
So
do
children,
No, you do
Queen
it.
Esther gets forced to go to the palace.
Esther, could you give me the
And she
pen?
gets taken to the palace. And in the palace, children, all the other girls were like, oh, I want this jewelry. Oh, I want this makeup. Oh, I want this a pretty dress. I want my hair done like this. And they were fussing and they wanted to be very beautiful. Children, the girls were made to soak in like oils and in perfumes for a whole year, 6 months in something like olive oil or something, and 6 months in such nice smelling stuff. No, a year, Yitzchak, do you remember? Sorry, Yitzchak? How long did the girls have to soak in oil? 6 months. 6 months for Shem and I forgot the name of it. Shem Hamor, thank you. They had to it doesn't matter. Either way, they had for a long time. One of the reasons they did that also, kids, is because they wanted to make sure the girls were healthy. Because they brought a girl and now she's going to marry the king, she might make the king sick. So they had to watch her and observe her for many months to make sure that she's safe and healthy to be close to the king. And Queen Esther doesn't ask for anything. And Haggai, who is in charge of all the girls, he realizes that Esther is the most beautiful. And no doubt she's going to get... Her name was Hadassah, yeah, Esther Hadassah. No doubt she is going to get chosen to be queen. And he treats her extra, extra special. He treats her extra, extra good. And he keeps wanting to give her pretty things. And Esther is completely disinterested. She doesn't want anything. The last thing in the world she wanted was to be picked to be queen. She didn't care that she'd be rich and powerful. Chas v'shalom, to marry a goy. Chas v'shalom, to be separated from the Jewish people. And she doesn't ask for anything. And Haggai tells her, please, you have to try to beautify yourself or I'm going to get into trouble. King Ahasuerus is going to say, I didn't try to make the girls pretty for him. Please, please. So whatever he pushed on her, Esther took. But she didn't really want to have anything. And kids, Esther was nice to everyone. Nobody could figure out what nation she was from. King Ahasuerus ruled over 127 countries. And everybody wanted their girl to be picked as queen. Maybe I'll move it a little. Everyone wanted their girl to be picked as queen. Someone from their country. You know, like they make beauty competitions and everybody wants, oh, the girl from our country, the girl from our country. Well, it was the same thing here. Everybody wanted that the girl from their country would be picked. And everybody started to claim, everybody wanted to claim, that Esther was from their country. Because she was so nice to everyone. It says about Queen Esther, that she, no what to say per Kavri, Oev Shalom Rod Shalom Oev et Abriat Umekarvan. Here, Esther, you do this one.
No, I want to do it.
Esther, you do this.
Mishki, do mine.
Oev et Abriat. Here, Esther, this one. Here, I'll make lots of hamintashim. Umekarvan la Torah. Love the creations of Hashem, regardless of what nation they're from. If they're Jewish, guys, if you don't listen, I'll have to put the drawing away. Regardless, if they're not Jewish, if they're not, whatever country they're from, you have to be respectful to all of Hashem's creations. And kids, Queen Esther respected everyone. And she treated everyone with such love that everyone was sure Oh, she's from my country. Oh, she's from my country. And Achashverosh notices Queen Esther right away. But he doesn't pick her yet to come to spend some time with him and get to know him, because he wanted to observe her first. And it says he really observed her for quite a while. And finally, he invites her to come, and he gets to know her, and he picks her to be his queen. But he wants to know what nation she's from. And she won't tell. She won't say what nation she's from. And she won't tell what nation she's from. And Achashverosh, one second, I want to put Esther away on the couch. Okay, baby, 1 second. Esther, go on the couch. Okay, go sleep. Near that. Okay, no. Okay, go sleep near that. So then you have to put this away. Okay? All right, you can sit for a minute, but nicely, okay? And Queen Esther advises him. She says, I know a very wise man. You should make him part of your, part of your advisors. And who does she send? Who knows who does she send? She sends Mordechai. And Achashverosh says, wow, I've heard of Mordechai. I know him. Good choice. Wow. Now, children, it's incredible that nobody realized that she was Jewish through this, but nobody did. Nobody realized that Queen Esther was saying, pick Mordechai because she too was Jewish. People just thought, well, she's a clever person and she knows clever people. And even with Mordechai there, nobody noticed that she's really Jewish. In fact, the person who realized the least that she's Jewish was Haman, because Queen Esther was very nice to Haman. He was so foolish, children, that he actually thought that she wanted to marry him over King Achashverosh, which of course was the last thing in the world. But Queen Esther understood that she has to keep Haman close by, meaning she has to know what he's doing. She knew that he was a huge enemy of the Jews. And when Achashverosh appoints Mordechai as one of his advisors, Achashverosh tells Mordechai, I don't know what to do. Queen Esther won't tell me what nation she's from. And Mordechai says, no problem. Tell her you're doing the competition all over again. She'll get scared and she'll think, oh no, I won't be picked as queen. And then she'll tell you who she is. Now, children, Mordechai was very smart in doing this because he didn't want anyone to know that Queen Esther's Jewish. He also didn't want Queen Esther to be picked as queen. He also wanted to test and see Hashem. If Hashem really wanted, was this Min HaShamayim that Hashem wanted her to be queen? Or was it, of course everything is B'Hashgacha Pratis, but he wanted, so to speak, to test and see a second time around that if the girls get collected again, will Queen Esther again be picked as queen? And sorry, darling, I'm going to give some shadows to it, okay? Just going to look at the shadowy. And children, as soon as Mordechai says that, everyone says, impossible that Queen Esther's Jewish. If she was Jewish, Mordechai would never want her to lose being queen. He's going to say, yay, Queen Esther's queen. She's a Jewish girl. She became, let's look at this way, Esther. She became queen. I'm so happy. Okay, nothing like that. Okay. He's never going to want someone else to compete with her to be queen. And so when Mordechai does this, nobody realizes she's Jewish. And even people who suspected maybe she's Jewish, it threw them off. And they said impossible. Mordechai would never suggest that Queen Esther should have more competition. And King Achashverosh loves King Achashverosh loves Mordechai's suggestion. And he thinks, oh, wonderful, I'll get her jealous, and then she'll be so scared that I won't pick her as queen, and she will tell me who she's really from, what nation she's really from. But of course, it didn't shake Queen Esther, and she doesn't, I'm going to bring the video a little closer to me so whoever's watching it, and she doesn't reveal that she's really Jewish. And a second time the girls are collected, and again King Achashverosh goes through a whole slew of girls, and no one makes him happy, and he's very frustrated. And finally he says, enough is enough, I'm just keeping Esther as my queen. Now originally, he wasn't going to give her the full crown on her head. He didn't want Queen Esther, he didn't want whoever he picked, not Queen Esther, but whoever he picked to be, right, he didn't want her to be right, a full-fledged queen. What happened the last time? Right, he didn't like Vashti trouble him. The last time he made her a full-fledged queen, Vashti went and poked fun at him and reminded everyone that he was just a stable boy originally. And he decides this time around, I'm going to just pick a common girl. I'm not going to give her a royal status. And she's going to be kind of queen, like a wife. But she's not going to have the status of queen. But children, Esther was so incredible and so wise and beautiful. And King Ahasuerus loves her so much, he completely forgets about Vashti. And it says he puts the Keter Malchut al Shosha. He gives her the top royal crown. Yes. Yes. And he makes a full-fledged queen. And now Esther is the full-fledged queen. Haman still really wants to build his way to power. We're going to say one more segment of the story and then we'll finish it. Haman really wanted to build his way up to power. And there were lots of people who hated Ahasuerus very, very much. He was not a popular king. He was a tyrant. He bullied everyone. Maybe in the next segment we'll talk about bullying. But children, right. And Haman actually finds two people who hate Ahasuerus very much. Who were they? Bigtan and Teresh. Bigtan and Teresh originally were very high up ranking officers of the king. I think one was something like a top general or something, I don't remember. Another was a top advisor. And Ahasuerus was very fickle. One day he liked like this, one day he liked like that. And he takes them from the top high ranking official status and he makes them his nighttime servant boys. So these top high officials who led armies and had tons of soldiers under them now find themselves as his nighttime servant boys, having to run and bring him water in the middle of the night. And they're very offended and they're very insulted. And everybody doesn't like Ahasuerus really. He was a very, very, kept changing his mind and he'd kill people easily and nobody said it per se, but everybody frowned and everybody was unhappy with King Ahasuerus as king. Now, I forgot to say something very important, guys. When King Ahasuerus marries Queen Esther, he tells them, okay, you know what, I'm going to make a huge party all over again. And Queen Esther really doesn't want that to happen. She's going to make a quick, big party again. Then again, the Jewish people are going to invite it to the party, and then the whole problem of joining in the Goyish party and all that. And besides, she really sincerely, Shani, in a second, she sincerely didn't think it was a good idea to have a party where everybody comes to the party. So she tells Ahasuerus, she says, Ahasuerus, if you make a big party and everyone has to come to the palace, people have to buy expensive clothing. People have to travel far. There's travel expenses. People have to bring gifts. Everyone is trying to outdo the other. No one's really enjoying and celebrating the wedding. Instead, why don't you make it a national holiday? Make a big holiday and lower everybody's taxes. Tell people on this day or this month, I don't know how long it was exactly, or that week, no taxes, and everyone should go home and celebrate and give people gifts to celebrate in their home. And so, darling, in 1 second, it's disturbing, okay? And Ahasuerus is so delighted. He says, you know what? You're right. He says, the last party I made was such a disaster. This time round, I am not going to do it. And this time round, I'm not going to do it. And children, this makes Queen Esther's popularity soar, becomes so high. Everybody loves Queen Esther. Everyone says, she's amazing. Look, she really cares for the people. And everybody loved her. And something we mentioned last time, I told you, but I'm going to tell it again. Queen Esther takes 7 maids. I mean, already even before she was crowned as queen, she was given 7 maids. Remember that the Persians didn't have a 7-day week. They had how many days in their week? Do you know? 10 days, right. So it'd be very complicated for Queen Esther if she doesn't live among the Jewish people to remember when Shabbos is. So when she had 7 maids, every day she did another girl. When the 7th girl came, she knew, this is Shabbos. Also remember that she wanted to keep kosher. She wanted to keep Shabbos. She worried that if she had the same girl the whole week, the girl is going to see that for 6 days she worked one way, and on Shabbos she rested. But if she has a separate girl every day, the girl who came on Shabbos would think that Queen Esther never did any work. She thinks she never lit the candles. She never touched the fire. She never, whatever, melacha for Shabbos. Never did cooking. Not that the queen did cooking, but you know what I mean. So Queen Esther was very smart that way. And she was very, very kind to her maidservants who loved her very, very much. Okay, we've gone too long. Next segment, we're going to tell the story of Biktan and Teresh.